if you want to bring in a voice of reason in this question about Ilhan Omar, who better than the former felon who used one of the apartments set aside for rescue workers down at the 9/11 site to maintain an affair with who did he have the affair with? I can't remember who he did. And Bernie Kerik, a man of a complete lack of ethics and morals and credibility. Do you have
Judith Regan?
Was he the one who had it with Judith Regan? I always get confused between who Giuliani had his affairs with and who Kerik had his affairs with.
This is the opening line of a 2004 New York Times story. During his use of the apartment, Mr. Kerik and Judith Regan engaged in an extramarital affair there, according to someone who
Look,
spoke.
Get an ass.
That is called commitment to your job. Commitment to your job. I don't want to leave the 9/11 site, and so I'm going to have my affairs here.
We gotta see if everything's safe for the workers.
So
Bang my publisher.
If you don't have an affair in your 9/11 apartment, you're basically letting the terrorists win.
now, to be fair to Kerik, he showed his commitment to things like 9/11 after he got out of jail by becoming I think he was working with Giuliani, maybe still does, by becoming a consultant to some of the worst autocratic regimes and oppressive regimes around the world, ostensibly to protect their national security. So who better than to have on Sean Hannity's program the other night to talk about Ilhan Omar?
But I lost 23 people that work for me. We lost 400 first responders and close to 1,700 people that were in the building.
Unbelievable. And so you
Pause
hear
it. And the way I showed them my proper respect was to engage in my affair down at the site because I wanted, like I say, I wanted to be there. I wanted them to see all of it. Go ahead.
And so you hear her anti-Semitic comments. Then the comment, I'm really struck by what she said about, the way they say Al-Qaeda, haha.
No, well, here's the issue, Sean. She's infatuated with Al-Qaeda, with Hamas, Hezbollah. She was at CARE at a fundraiser. She was the keynote speaker at a fundraiser for CARE, which, according to the United Arab Emirates, an Arab nation, they are a terrorist organization.
They're also the non-indicted co-conspirator in the Homeland
in a number of...
In the what Homeland case? The Homeland case? So Bernie Kerik just sort of picking up the mantle, maybe not quite as incendiary as the president. Of course, when the president says this stuff, it's just a matter of time right before he repeats these lies. This has been going on for a decade, and it's gotten worse. And if the Democrats don't stand up to it, nobody's going to. So she's out there, and, frankly, she should be getting a medal for what she's going through.
I just want to say really briefly, there's a 2014 report in the Washington Post. Why has the UAE deemed CARE a terrorist group? Which obviously it's not deemed a terrorist group in the United States. And I'll quote briefly. It says, the UAE's list seems to be driven by something closer to home, however. The very first name included is the UAE Muslim Brotherhood. They're fierce opponents of the Muslim Brotherhood, and a significant number of the more surprising inclusions on the list have ties to transnational Islamist group, the Muslim American Society. So, basically the point, to simplify it, is this has everything to do with a rivalry with Qatar and internal politics, which have definitely faced criticism from like the typical groups you'd expect, like Amnesty International. So that's quite a sighting. The UAE is also a partner in the Saudi mass murder of Yemen right now.
Okay, but where was she while I was having an affair at 9/11?
I was going to say, I could assure you, during those attacks, I was not banging the publisher of If I Did It by O.J. Simpson.
No, see, now you're confused, because that is why Rudy wanted the command center in Manhattan as opposed to Brooklyn, where they had suggested it. so that he could have his affair. And then I just took the one across the street on the other side. See, we basically had the whole Ground Zero area surrounded and protected from both the north and the west, so that if anything happened, we were there having an affair.
When am I allowed to use the word infidel?
There you go.
Also, I just want to note, a lot of people are standing with Ilhan Omar by sending her money. She was one of the top House Democrats in fundraising this quarter. She raised over $630,000 from online donors.
Good for them.
That's one thing you can do.
That is a great thing to do.
I have to say, including myself, and it was an incredibly satisfying thing to do. Please do that.